Land of the Bible, Part 2, Tourist or Pilgrim? And does it even matter? Friends, we're looking at visiting the land of the Bible. The life-changing, exciting, even transformational experience that many have. Now, for others, it's a nice visit. For others, it may not be a nice visit. But I want to look at the topic of tourist or pilgrim. Now, frankly, most people who go to the land don't think of this question at all. I did it for academic reasons, but also personal reasons. Because I do believe when you understand who you are and your destiny in life and where you stand, you're much more better positioned to be fulfilled and fruitful. Tourist or pilgrim? What is it? When somebody visits Israel, the Holy Land, the land of the Bible, what are they? Well, first of all, mass tourism is a booming international business, especially after the Second World War. Travel costs had gone down to such an extent that people on medium incomes and even not so medium were able to make trips on planes and buses and boats to different faraway places. Now, Europe, by the way, and the nation of France in particular, are really the world's #1 tourist destination. France doesn't even have to advertise. People are coming from everywhere to stand and get their selfie by the Eiffel Tower. What is tourism and what is pilgrimage, and what really is the difference? Well, you see, to be a tourist is to go on a trip for leisure, for pleasure, for relaxation. It's a wonderful thing to do, especially when it's well planned and well executed. But you know, it's a nervous business, and if there's civil unrest or a pandemic like we saw in COVID, that can disrupt the tourist industry. In some cases, like in Israel, the tourist industry almost was killed because of COVID lockdowns. But it has risen from the dead and tourists are back. But yes, it can be an uncertain business. Now, pilgrims are a different story altogether. Even though pilgrims can do things like tourists do. They dress casually, they go sightseeing, they shop for souvenirs, they take lots of photos, more than ever now because of digital photography. In many ways, they are like tourists. And they may not do anything particularly religious as far as the eye can see. So what is a pilgrim compared to a tourist? Well, the difference is that the pilgrim, like the tourist, is on a long journey. But unlike the tourist, the pilgrim is in search of the sacred, whether they consciously or subconsciously know it. They are walking on a pathway that is to lead them to the epicenter of their faith. And they don't have to actually do anything religious in order to be a pilgrim. They just have to have a heart of faith, because a pilgrimage is a long journey in search of the sacred. Let me say it again. A pilgrimage is a long journey in search of the sacred. Sacred person, sacred place, sacred thing, sacred city. It tells us in Hebrews chapter 11, the faith chapter, and verse 10, speaking about Abraham, the father of the faithful. It said, "For he looked for a city with foundations, whose builder and maker is God." So yes, the pilgrimage is the long journey to the sacred, and the pilgrim is the one making the journey. It's not so much what you do that makes you a pilgrim. It's the faith in your heart that makes the difference. Let me read to you a little bit more from the faith chapter, Hebrews 11, where it says in verse 13, the latter part of the verse, "And they confessed that they were strangers and pilgrims on the earth. For they that say such things declare plainly that they seek a country. For truly, if they had been mindful of that country from whence they came out, they might have had opportunity to return. But now, the people of faith, the pilgrims on a pilgrimage, desire a better country, that is, a heavenly. Wherefore God is not ashamed to be called their God, for he hath prepared for them a city." Our whole earthly life is a journey to the sacred city, a journey to the New Jerusalem. So if that's the case, and it is, then a journey to the Bible lands is also a pilgrimage as well.